We got well and truly pasted by top of the table Bolton Wanderers in the last episode, and today we start with Bolton Wanderers in the FA Cup, this time away from home. At the Toughsheet Community Stadium. We're going to hopefully fare better this time. Bolton have extended their lead at the top of the table. We've now dropped out of the top two. Results have been good, but not as good as they were earlier in the season, but for good reason. We've been making the difficulty slightly take an uptick of late. We also have Barnsley away today. We'll be simulating Cheltenham at home, a side that were relegated in real life, and then playing Northampton away, a local-ish derby. Northampton about an hour or so from Cambridge, one of the more local games in League One for them this given season. And of course, we're getting very close now to the January transfer window, where we anticipate things taking a tick up there as well with regards the quality in the squad, we hope. Anyway, we'll wait and see what happens with regards transfers in and transfers out. Today we're saying thank you to Jordan, to Cadbury Gaming, and to Bots v Bots on the board behind me for your continued support in the comment section. Thank you very much indeed for that. We had all three of the press conference questions at the beginning of the episode yesterday, but I think what we're going to do now is I'll answer one before each game as we progress through, to save kind of the opening part of the video just being me talking for 5 minutes. So this first question comes from Benjamin Bessemer, who's a Patreon member. Thank you very much indeed for the question. Ben says, with the relatively good run you're on at the current moment in time, would you consider that if you don't have a major wobble closer to the tail end of the season, could you see Cambridge sneak into the top 6? Given our current league position, Ben, and the scenario in which we find the league table, I would say that it would be more than a sneaking into the top 6 at this present moment in time. You can see there the league table on your screen in front of you. We sit considerably 11 points ahead of Peterborough in 7th. So I would imagine that, yes, this Cambridge United side should be playoffs at least for the upcoming end of season. Whether we get promoted or not automatically is neither here nor there. We don't know. Whether we even get promoted by the playoffs, we don't know either. Regardless, if we do go up, I certainly don't anticipate us doing anything special next season at all. But one game at a time, and hopefully we'll do well. Hopefully we can do well in this game against Bolton as well and get a little bit of payback for that hammering we received yesterday. They're playing a very similar side, actually. Barnsley up top is the... Oh no, and Sheehan and Coleman. The three fully fit players are the only changes they've made to the side that gave us a 4-2 battering. Please, as ever, do drop the video a like if you're enjoying. Of course, I'd very much appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any more of this save. Come and join me live on stream as well. It'd be great to have you over on Twitch or on the YouTube live streaming channel here on this platform as well. Let's go to the Toughsheet Community Stadium, shall we? What a name. Sheehan with an early switch. Picked up nicely by Calvin Ramsey. Goal scorer in the league game yesterday. Sheehan, who was unavailable through international duty, actually, for that previous fixture, now is here in the Bolton starting 11. Ramsey doing his best to lose possession. Dempsey with a solid challenge, and Collins will recover it. Bolton again dominating early doors here, as they did in the last one. Slightly lucky to keep hold of the ball there, but still the chance might come. Bodvarsson spins, Bodvarsson shoots, and Jack Stevens makes the save. Sheehan will take it short again. Dempsey will find a teammate this time. Jack Iredale is not going to score from there. Sheehan could score from here, though. Let's slow him up, shall we? Collins! Oh! I do not like the way the goalkeepers work in this game. 1-0 Bolton. This is dangerous now. Collins looking for the through ball. Bodvarsson and Collins again. Bolton were so good yesterday, and they are proving to be just as good second time around. Stevens makes the save this time, trying to step in and block the shot. It's a free kick in almost an identical position to one that they had yesterday. And, oh, that's going to go over, surely. No, Ches is the answer. It's not going to go over. Slammed into the bar. Jesus Christ. Can we catch him on the counter? A firm no. Harris Magoma. Oh, lovely little turn. And ball. Bodvarsson. Collins. Zeno's trying to be in the way. Bodvarsson's there, and a cheeky little ball under the keeper. Bolton Wanderers, just quite simply, are too good for us. It was not a one-off yesterday, They're doing it again. Get their jubs. Won the ball, ref. Corner ball only. Might have injured their man in the process. I'm sorry. Sorry. It was unintentional. I was just trying to get to the ball. Danny Bovarsson scored the second goal. And it might be his last action of the game. Oh, he's just fallen awkwardly on that knee. I'm sorry, Bolton. Win that, please, Adam. Thank you. Get that in front of Brofs. Have the legs to get there. Andrew found around the corner. Brophy with me. Gassan's there too. We'll look for Brophy around the corner. Brophy found. And Gassan. And Gassan pulls one back for Cambridge United. A really good move. A really good goal. We can score against Bolton. We just can't stop them scoring. It's Wyredale. And Sheehan. That's a lovely through ball. Ogbeta's in behind. He squared it. Charles. 3-1 Bolton. They stepped it up a notch. They have a 2-goal advantage once more, and we are going out of the FA Cup in the second round. Of all the people we could have been drawn against in the second round of the FA Cup, all the people in Leagues 1 and 2, it's the one side that have just been quite evidently significantly better than us. We would have stood a chance of beating almost anybody else, I feel. But it just so happened to be Bolton. Back-to-back defeats against Bolton in 2 different competitions. And they march on into a money-spinning third-round tie, and we crash out of the FA Cup this season. Solely then concentrating for the rest of this year on league football, which might be a blessing in disguise given the nature of the league table at this particular stage. But currently, that's all we've got left to focus on. Not to worry. Next up, playoff chasing. Top end of the table chasing Barnsley. It might get worse today. Barnsley are fatigued, to say the least, in certain areas from their FA Cup tie at the most recent weekend. Devante Cole up top is the league's top goal scorer with, well, last time we saw 14 in 19, I think. So definitely one of the players to keep an eye on. Robbie Cundy at centre-back is rock solid in the defence. Herbie Kane is very creative in the midfield as well. McAtee up top is going to be dangerous as a partner too. Oh, this one might be just as terrible as the one against Bolton, although their fatigue might be something that plays into our favour, but we might have to consider ourselves slightly lucky if we get anything from this one. And then pressing across the pitch. Can Brophy maybe find Gassan here? Danny Andrews made a run off the pitch. Go back now, Danny. Then bend the cross. Good cross. Lancaster's up. Not the connection he was after with the header, I'm sure he'd say. He'd be quite happy to admit. Never mind. We go again. Use the right back. And Soleil's on the run. Good ball. Now Gassan can have a decent connection on it, but Soleil's got to have the ball to cross it first. Oh, he might have the ball to squeeze this into the near post, which is exactly what he's done. A terrible mistake from Barnsley. The goalkeeper surely expecting me to square that back. And we've slammed it in at the near post. That's huge. Absolutely huge. I need to see a replay to see just how narrow an angle he had. Terrible mistake by Cadner, fullback, and he's just slammed it. Keeper wasn't ready for it to go quite so high. Thought the pullback was coming. It didn't. 1-0 Cambridge. Well in. Cousins does well. Well enough. Connell and Kane. And Connell again. Devante Cole. Looking dangerous. Very dangerous. You can see why he scored so many goals this season. The movement there was sensational. Zeno's up with a great header. And a fall to Pines. Pines finds Russell. He's got the option out wide. He might have to use that. Zeno, or it's Digby actually, getting the ball off him. And no way back into the game for Barnsley at this particular moment in time. Gassan will look for Brophy. Could have runners through the middle. Lancaster could go. Look at the space for Bennett on the far side. He's picked up beautifully. And Lancaster helps it on to Gassan! He just misses the target. I don't know what else I can add to that. It's just bad. Christ. Wasn't ideal. Basically play pinball on his own body. Lancaster's arriving with some decent space though. And Gassan's in. And this time, surely he's got to find the... Oh! Find the target. Alright. Gassan out. Fajiri in. Kachunga. And Fajiri. Fajiri still. Lancaster. Brophy. Oh! I don't know why he's taking it on his right. I must have hit it slightly too early. And he's just sliced off his toes. He is bending towards goal, but not enough. Should have delayed with the input. Let the ball come across his body and shoot on his left. And surely that's 2. And the game. Oh, no, you don't. Aha! Oh, Brophy! Fajiri completely sold the defender there. It didn't quite end in the goal that we hoped it would. Oh, but that will, and it's Fajiri that gets it too. Is he hurt here? No, he's fine. Bullet header. Fajiri Okunabiri off the bench to seal the 3 points. Support arriving. Here's Waters. There's Waters. Wow. Decent effort. Saved well by Jack Stevens, but he needed to get across to that, shifting his feet quickly. Christ, that could have ended up a broken back for either of them. Oh, lovely little back heel. Oh, and Devante Cole's away. That is why he's the league's top goal scorer. The movement, the touch, the finish, top draw. Unfortunately for them, they're 2-1 down still. That's so good. So good. Not good enough, though, for Barnsley on this occasion, despite one back in the 87th. Provided we are composed enough in possession, we should still see this through. How many minutes added on, ref? 4? Yikes. Okay. And I've been caught in possession as well. I was trying to spin and play Liam Bennett in down the line, who made a great run. Zeno! Hit him in the hand. It's going to be a free kick. Cadden. Is it to be a shock double salvo from Barnsley? From Devante Cole! It is indeed! I told them they over-celebrated the first. They can celebrate this one as much as they like. That's why Devante Cole is top goal scorer. That is outrageous from him. The first goal was impressive. The second is even better. That was indeed glorious, says Jordan in chat. The touch, the turn, the finish. Superb. It should be a point only here. The 4 minutes added on was more than I expected. And we tried to just twist down the line here to get Liam Bennett in, who'd gone for a run down the line just to basically get the ball towards the corner to ensure that we could seal a 2-1 victory. Oh, but it's to be a 2-2 draw instead. All right, Barnsley, fair enough. When you've got a player that good, things like that happen. That was unbelievable. Do we maybe think about signing Devante Cole in a future season? He's certainly put in a good impression, hasn't he? I'm not sure what he's rated at. Probably too highly for us at the moment. Back to the drawing board we go again. Before we head to the next game against Cheltenham, we have a second question from the comment section. Andy Tyrrell, our spreadsheet god, says, Gary Monk, you persist in only playing one central striker up front, but this means when you keep crossing balls into the box, you only have one target man to aim for. Would we not be better off and make more of the chances we make by altering the formation to play 2 up front, or at least in the 4-1-4-1, go with a centre forward and striker? On top of that, would specific tailored crossing training and heading training improve those areas for the players you use in dead ball situations? In response to the first part of the question, I feel like the wingers that track in at the back post are adding numbers into the box well enough for us to continue with the current tactic of the wing play, throwing the ball into the middle. Jack Lancaster at cam is getting forward as well, or anyone that plays in that cam spot, whether it be Elias Kachunga or George Thomas as well, is getting forward into the box ready for a knockdown or to challenge for the header themselves. With regards dead ball situations, we've just seen Fajiri Okunabiri score a great header from a corner. We've got big players like Digby and Zeno Ibsen-Rossi in the starting lineup and up for dead ball situations as well. So at the moment, I feel like the tactics are working. I'm not too disheartened with the current dip in form, and I feel like we'll get back on track very soon. Cheltenham then our next opponent. We're in third place in the division now, with that draw against Barnsley seeing us fall behind Derby on points as well as goal difference now. Cheltenham, not a great side, but sat in 12th in this save right now. Albeit it's just so close, isn't it? It's always close to the relegation zone for a number of sides. And then it's kind of, the league is always split in League One, but in the main, anyone can be anyone at this level, and that's what makes these seasons so unpredictable in real life and in game. Cheltenham will be playing a 5-back, of course they are. We see a lot of 5-backs in League One at the moment. Actually kind of looking forward to getting into the Championship, whether it's for next season or a future season up beyond that, just to kind of have a few more variations in the sort of sides that we're playing against, or at least the sort of tactics that we're playing against. We'll make just the one change, although Fajiri came off the bench and scored the goal against Barnsley, didn't he, to give us the 2-0 lead, so maybe we'll give him the go-ahead for this one. Cheltenham first, and then from Cheltenham, it's a strong 3-1 win. Okenabiri and Thomas, the two players I just put into the starting lineup, the ones that got the goals. Managerial genius, me. I know exactly what I'm doing. It's definitely not being winged left, right and centre every single week. Right, Northampton next then. Bolton drop points again, and Derby now lead the table. Bolton at one point was 7 points clear. Now they're a goal behind, despite hammering me in the league and then the FA Cup. Up next for us then, an away game against Northampton at Sixfields. A local-ish derby for Cambridge United, and one certainly that we'd like to win. Northampton not playing a 5 at the back, thankfully, so we'll see what they're all about. They've recently come up from the league below. Sam Hoskins on the left-hand side is one of the best players in the division, let alone one of the best players between our two sides. He's just genuinely that damned good. Evidently, Okenabiri and Thomas deserve the start from the last game. Bennett's still a little bit tired, so maybe we put Job on the bench. He's not played much football for us at all this season, for justifiable reasons, but he's played in the cup more so than anything else. We have some more players at 65 now with Okadina, up with Soleil, Kaike and Digby and Thomas, and Brophy's at 85 now as well. Going to keep a keen eye on the growth. We're not allowed anyone to grow by more than 3 this season, and some now have grown by 2, so as soon as they hit that 3rd spot, then we will set them to a balanced plan on the development spreadsheet, on the development page, so that then they stay at 3 and don't grow any more. Again, to remind you, anyone that wins an award at the end of the season will be allowed to go up by 4 the next year. Let's hope that Northampton don't do that too much to us here, shall we? So what, considering they come up from the league below, other than Ryan Haynes at left back, that is a side that rivals our own. That's what I mean when I say any team can beat any team in this division, because most of them have players that are rated between 64 and 68. They're genuinely that good. They do have Giulio Leschi on the bench, a Patreon player with a wonderful haircut. But this is why the league has potentially gone the way that it has this season. I appreciate the feedback in the comment section as well. A number of you leaving similar comments and leaving thumbs up on the comments as well, saying not to worry too much about the sliders. You guys understand that even if this season is going the way that it is, we may well find ourselves in a scenario where we're in a relegation battle next year in the Championship, and I appreciate your understanding in that side of things. You guys appreciate my honesty in trying to make sure that we do things the right way, and I'm not like pulling the wool over your eyes or anything. And I appreciate the fact that you guys are understanding in the scenario we find ourselves in. Steve Reich from Fajiri, but well saved by Molden. See if Danny Andrew can get a decent delivery in. Digby's up. He's massive, but he can't keep it down, though. Cousins and Thomas laid into Digby. It's a player that doesn't have high pace stats, Paul Digby, but always seems to be quicker than the stats suggest. Slightly fortunate the ball has gone where it did there. Actually, I'll give that into Digger. And Paul Digby scores the goal. Keeper makes a mistake. Paul Digby scores twice. Cambridge United 1. Northampton 0. I think that might be Digger's first goal of the season as well. Certainly the first one he scored for me in a played game. Leading by example, of course, with the captain's armband. driving forward with the initial run and then driving the ball into the back of the net on his left foot. Keeper wrong-footed. He was moving to his right. The shot went back to his left and he just couldn't adjust quickly enough. Decent goal. Caught Williams just after the ball had gone there. Here is Hoskins now. Driving in towards the box. Cutting back nicely. And here's Sowerby. Northampton looking for a goal back, and they should get one here now. It's a brilliant save by Stevens. Reactions of the highest order from Cambridge United's number one. It really should have read 1-1 on the score sheet. We get lucky there with a handball as well. Just after the half-hour mark, we could and should have been drawn level with. It's a great ball. Spring it's in behind. It's a really sharp turn and a great ball in. Stevens drawn into the save again. Northampton look decent here. Building really well. Hoskins will deliver the ball into the middle and the home side roaring to try and get their side level. And if it weren't for Liam Bennett on the line or the goalkeeper between the sticks, then they could have scored 3 goals today. This is probably not going to end in a clean sheet for us, is it? Northampton look very dangerous going forward, and if they're going to get the ball fall freely for them like that, then a goal surely will end up going in, this time wide. Good header by Cousins. Great header by Cousins. Faye's running. A little dink. Shering does well. Is that Sam Shering? Might be Sam Shering. Was on loan at Cambridge from Bournemouth last season in real life. And may well be on loan here at Northampton, or perhaps a permanent signing having left Bournemouth. Not sure. We do actually have a Bournemouth fan with us live in chat at the moment on stream. Oh, I thought it was going in for a moment, so surely Leonie could let us know whether that is a permanent or a loan for Sam Shering to Northampton. Ben Fox is coming on for them now as we look to extend our advantage. Unfortunately not able to do so, but still Northampton look like they're going to be the more dangerous side. 66 rated Sam Shering. It was indeed a permanent move, says Leonie, confirmed. He left Bournemouth and has joined Northampton, and it's a great signing for them, I have to be honest. Thomas and Fajiri set to come off momentarily, but there could still be one final moment for either of them to impact the game before that happens. Liam Bennett's going to get forward here from right back, and we'll look through that gap for George Thomas. And we're going to drill it across the box. And that could have ended up in the back of the net as an own goal, couldn't it, for sure? Nearly. Odemayo intercepts that nicely in the 90th minute. Northampton have the ball again. Now it was 4 minutes added on at the end of the last game that saw Barnsley find an equaliser. And with only 2 minutes added on here and the ball in their half, and us putting the pressure on and forcing them at least to slow up in their build-up, maybe we can do enough to keep them out. And here comes Fox, and in steps Liam Bennett. That'll be 3 points for the U's on this occasion against the Cobblers. But that was hard fought, very hard fought. We'll take the 3 points and be very happy with it. Depending on other results, with Derby and Bolton, we might actually go top on this particular match day. I think we might even be playing a day early, so might have gone top anyway. No, we haven't played a day early. But Derby drew, Bolton won, so we stay third, and Bolton retake top spot. Officially then at the halfway stage of this League One season, and having a very, very good time of things at the moment. Port Vale next, a side that clearly are struggling on just 17 points. We do have one final question from the press conference to bring to you guys. That question coming from the True Blitz, saying, do you think moving forward, considering all the departures in line, will you keep up the same form, and are you getting backing from the owners? In terms of the form, that really is unpredictable. Whenever there's a big change around in playing staff, you hope that the ethos of the club is instilled in those players, and you'd like to try and sign players that buy into that ethos as well. You want to hire correctly, and hopefully we will be able to maintain the form regardless of the overturn of the player staff either in January or the summer. And of course we're getting backing from the owners. We're keeping a keen eye on the finances. We actually have more of an insight as a manager than usually a manager would have, as per the nature of the save. But we certainly expect the owners to back us. I feel like we've so far earned that backing, and fingers crossed we can deserve that backing by spending the money the right way. So as we head then towards the January transfer window, the club's current balance is 2.1 million. We're growing the financial side of things very well. I have a handful of players actually I need to offer a new contract to as per Cambridge United's retained list. I do have it saved as a tab on my Chrome. You'll notice that Some have been offered a new contract in real life, and we will replicate that in save as well. Obviously, these players are under contracts for more than 1 year, and we will make these players available for transfer at the end of this season, and we will be losing everybody you see on that list there. So we know in part what's happening in the summer. It's just a case of whether we are able to replicate that in save and whether we try and preempt some of the outgoings early by not wasting the budget we have available this season. We might look to spend now in anticipation of losing players later, now that we have the opportunity to do so. So where we look to spend that money, I'm not sure at the moment, but certainly we'll renegotiate those initial contracts first, and then we'll know exactly what we have left in our wage budget for next season. Those players that have been offered a new deal IRL will be offered a new deal in this save, and then we'll know exactly how much money we've got to spend. And I might do that in between this episode and the next one, so that you guys have exactly the right figures at exactly the right time to help me in the January transfer window. At the moment, one figure that we're very happy with is our league position and, in fact, the points gap below us. It was 11 points back to 7th place. It's now 13, and that team is now Charlton, not Peterborough, who rather annoyingly got into the playoffs. And actually, it would be Cambridge versus Peterborough in the playoff semi-finals if the season were to end as is right now, which would be feisty indeed. That will be all for today's episode, though. Thank you very much for watching. Do drop the video a like if you've been continuing to enjoy this save. I'd very much appreciate it. It really helps the content out. Of course, make sure you're subscribed to the ChesnoidGaming YouTube channel. Come and join me live on stream on the ChesnoidGaming Twitch channel or the Chesnoid Live YouTube channel. All links are in the description down below, as well as to the Seconds channel, where the Formula 1 content is up and running for the brand new F124 game. So do go across and check that out too. For now, though, that's all for me. For today, anyway. I'll see you tomorrow. Actually, this is probably Friday's video. I'll see you Monday.